This is your Weather Xtreme video for Sunday, April the 22nd. I'm meteorologist Brian Peters, and welcome. Just a reminder very quickly that today is Earth Day. And what does that mean? Well, just kind of a reminder that we need to be good stewards of the planet. We had a cold front move through yesterday, and if you didn't notice, we kind of missed out on any rain in central Alabama, but this was the radar yesterday evening, and so just letting you know that there was indeed some rain over the southeastern sections of the state of Alabama. No rain this morning. There's a look at our Trussville Skycam as we're looking off to the southeast, and you can see some of the clouds left over, but we've turned clear. Clouds visible at Cheaha. Yesterday we were looking at Cheaha, and Cheaha was sunny, whereas the rest of the area was cloudy. Now this morning, Cheaha is cloudy. Across the vast area of the United States, we have a little bit of a disturbance moving through the flow in the mid-Mississippi River Valley. And we also have that surface low that was across the Gulf and moved across Florida last night that is now moving out into the Atlantic. In the upper atmosphere, we're going to be dealing with a strong northwesterly flow pattern that's going to be bringing us some coolish air. In the meantime, for today, it looks like we're going to see a windy day with a north wind at 15 to 25 miles an hour and possibly some higher gusts. Plus, we got a little patch of rain over the mid-Mississippi River Valley that may bring us some clouds, but I think for the most part, central Alabama remains dry. Temperatures across the U.S. are still relatively mild. You notice there's very little of areas below freezing or at freezing or below. That's that red line across the northern tier of the country. Certainly a little bit chillier across central Alabama this morning as compared to yesterday. We're down into the 40s for the most part. Looks like we're going to have some coolish days ahead for Monday and Tuesday. Again, I mentioned there's a little patch of rain just to the northwest of Paducah. I think that will probably slide across the northeastern quadrant of Alabama, generally to the north and east of a line from about Florence to Anniston, roughly. But we'll be watching that. In the meantime, QPF folks don't show a great deal of rain. The next chance of rain comes probably on Friday for us and Thursday for the area just to our north. The Storm Prediction Center outlooking a slight risk for the Outer Banks area of the North Carolina coast. Otherwise, for days 2 and 3, no outlook area. All right, the morning 060 GFS model run, and there's our strong trough coming through the south, or coming into the southeastern U.S., and underneath that we can see the 540 thickness line approaching Nashville here at 18Z. That's 1 o'clock, and we can also see the GFS is picking up on that little rain area. By Monday, the trough has really sharpened up quite a bit, having a really strong influence all the way down into North Florida. And with that, of course, the 540 line now showing way down into central Alabama and down into central Georgia, into the vicinity of Macon. So going to be a coolish morning Monday, and also probably on Tuesday as we see good radiational cooling. The trough stays with us, so we're still under a northwesterly flow pattern on Tuesday, so we're still going to stay relatively cool. As we begin to warm up, though, you can see the 540 line, just using that as a kind of a markation, a demarcation, kind of a marker there. 540 line now moved out of central Alabama and central Georgia, back up into northeastern Tennessee, so certainly a warming trend underway. Besides that, we begin to come under the ridge a little bit on Wednesday, so that will help to increase our chances for warming up. The ridge continues to build. However, we see the westerlies and you see the strong trough moving across the Great Lakes. That's going to drag a cold front down into the Ohio River Valley. I think for Thursday we stay dry, with most of the clouds and rain well to our north across Tennessee and Kentucky. Now, that could change. You see that the pattern really doesn't amplify much for us on Friday, but the front's still in the area. The GFS suggesting that the front probably would be in the area of Tennessee, and that means that we may see some chance of showers on Friday. I think they're still somewhat limited for us down here. The better chances certainly back up across the Tennessee River Valley and into Tennessee and Kentucky. The ridge builds a little stronger on Saturday, as you can see from the upper air chart here for 500 millibars, and that should mean that the front will be pushed a little bit north, which would dry us out and certainly improve the conditions. We go back to partly sunny and, of course, stay relatively warm. And then a week from today, the ridge is in place over us, and so that means that we would certainly be out of the rain, I think, for a week from today on Sunday, although the moisture is certainly increasing to our west, and as that does, that brings the shower possibilities, especially off to the west. All right, extending the forecast out just a bit, we see a fairly substantial trough coming through the Great Lakes and making its influence felt down into the central Mississippi River Valley with some rain chances around the 2nd of May. That's Wednesday the 2nd. And then finally out toward the end of the period, around the 7th, we see that there's fairly strong ridging across the southern tier of the United States. And so what that means to us is a bit of a summerish-like weather pattern. So we may have daily shower chances as we get out. But then again, this is voodoo, so we can't tell for sure. Well, thanks for tuning into the Weather Xtreme video. I expect James Spann to be back with the next edition first thing on Monday morning. In the meantime, stay tuned to the blog for the latest. We'll be watching that little patch of rain to see what happens as it moves to the southeast. I hope you have a wonderful Sunday, and Godspeed.
Thank you for trusting us to be your #1 source for news
in all of Central Alabama.
in back-to-back ratings periods.
More people watched ABC 3340
than any other station in Birmingham.